Hi, you guys. Good morning. You know, as usual, I'm sort of ruminating as I get up and get coffee and begin to start the day. I think about what the jumping off point is. And this morning, what occurred to me was, and it was watching an interview um, of a famous person who said they went into comedy in part because they knew that their quirkiness uh, worked for them in comedy. The very thing that made them awkward at the school dance or whatever made that was a tool. They could get people to laugh, and in part it was perhaps at them at first, and then the tables got turned, and it was like the one getting laughed at had the power. Um, but this person, it happened to be a woman, said, um, that's a double-edged sword. Like your success depends upon exploiting your weakness or what you perceive to be your weakness or what the audience does. So it kind of screws with your head. And she said, moreover, as she became successful at that, um, and got more and more famous and in a way more and more a big presence, she realized it was at this uh, really significant cost in other areas of her life. Um, it affected her health. I mean, think of how many funny people. Not it's a cliche to say all of them, but there's a tendency toward a person who's been in a lot of pain and who deals with it through their art and through their addiction. So she was really recognizing how, weirdly enough, when one area of your life becomes successful, you can look at the other areas of your life um, where there's a deficit. Your energy has gone into this thing, not into these other things, which may be equally as important, but they don't win you um, a position of status. Anyway, and then I got confused, and so I burned the incense. It's not like I figure anything out, really. Um, it's a little bit like, if you're blind, you can hear better because your senses are focused where there isn't the deficit. So you could, Ray Charles, you're blind, you can play the piano. Stevie Wonder. So it's a gift of compensation somehow. But this woman said, I'm now focused on building back my health, even if that loses me the status I've achieved as a comedian. It's more important for me to bring it back to, at least at this point in my life, even if it hurts my career. So there's something about the shifting places in our lives where we have success or not, and what kind of dynamic that sets up. Page of Pentacles. That's giving a small amount, or coming away from something with a lesson with a little hint about how to live your life. Pentacles energy. Maybe starting from scratch. Pages are like the children of the psyche. This might be a question like, who am I? am I the kid who has ears that are perpendicular to my head, which actually wins me friends because I can make them laugh. And then we look at it from another perspective. It's a card of Pisces and feelings, and maybe the need to process feelings, or being held in some kind of suspension until we are able to move on them. And this is moving on them in a way, but it's not a leap forward. It's like dipping a toe in something. World. This little energy, followed by two major arcana, Hangman and World. World card is, the big next phase. And whatever this little lesson or takeaway or proposal to oneself, maybe this is how I could live my life, is bringing these major arcana energies into play, into the world. It's being birthed right through the portal. After this is like the labor in a way, and not really labor because it's passive. But this is about an emotional gratification that comes from holding still until the emotions are processed, and then we can step through. But it's almost like to step through this portal, you can only carry a little bit with you into 3D. What does that mean? And with regards to that question of what if there's a deficit in one place? Ace of Pentacles. Well, there's a real opening and opportunity here. The wheel, the aperture, the thing that leads to the next place in the psyche and in 3D. The pentacle, the same. The shape is echoed almost like a fractal. A fractal where the shape repeats. Inside the shape is another shape, like the Russian doll, sort of. There's something about the timing that is ripe. This is almost like a card of ripening. Hanging upside down in the tree of sacrifice or the tree of life, or it's almost like a spiritual sacrifice. When you flip the script and see from a different perspective what's gained and what's lost. And this is a big opportunity for something that you can receive and give. It's like a energetic currency. Tell us about Ace of Pentacles, Hangman, because it implies, now we can begin. We've got the takeaway. If you read this as I'm in suspension, I'm tied up, I can't move. I'm processing my feelings. 8 of Swords. I think this I mean, Eight of Swords is I'm trapped in some kind of, um, my bad thoughts, my bad. Well, it's thinking they're bad, right? It's sword energy. I can't move. I can't see clearly. I'm stuck in my head. I can't move. It's absolutely necessary, a suspension, because it somehow summons the desire, the self-love. Because aces can speak to the self. Like I see my own value. I can come out of this mental prison and receive and give in 3D out of my head. Underworld. Six of Pentacles. I can give and receive in 3D. That's exactly what that card is. Pentacles energy, even exchange. The scales are here, but they're even, Steven. It's all right. I'm going like this because I can't quite see without my glasses on. Then I put them on and that deer in the headlights. So it's an opportunity really to move forward, to accept this gift of opportunity and grace from the universe, from the world, from the place where your newborn self gets to enter and integrate with the newborn creation, or that big, this is the little way, it's not little, but, value in life, valuing your own life. And somehow that gives you the opportunity for equal exchange with somebody else. And particularly, I think, in the realm of feelings, because it's out of the head. It's almost like everything's rushing to this person's head. You can see that red line coming down. It's almost like they're being, in this period of suspension, being renewed by their water energy, their ability to love and connect. And here it is expressed in their life, in our lives. I get the feeling this may represent the energy of the person you're dealing with, although it may be equally your own. If so, you're both showing up. You're both becoming more grounded, less up in your head, trapped by these mental insecurities. You may feel your inner child may feel, because pages are child energy. Your inner child may feel like, I only have a half a pentacle. A halfpenny, a little amount to give. When in fact, this is your capacity to meet and match the person who will give to you. It's a new stage. World is a card of all the fixed signs, but also Aquarius and Capricorn. Capricorn, earth energy. And Capricorn is about work, and this is about when the work is non-action. To hold still long enough to discover how you really feel about something. And I think there's an element of I feel very stuck and up in my head. Up in my head, down in my head. Okay, moving right along. Ace of Pentacles, please. Wow. Star card. A star card is one of my favorite in the deck, and I'm just noticing the pentacle at the center of the Ace of Pentacles is star-shaped. Earthly, heavenly, Aquarian energy, very high vibe sword energy. Nothing like this. This is a card of healing and release and finding your way to the holy place. This is like the brain, you need to bust out, somebody does, of that mental cage, because there's really an opportunity for this major arcana card of, it's almost like finding the place within, in yourself, Ace of Pentacles, that reflects or speaks to the guides, the heavenly guides, that the overeye, the thing that well, it is sword energy, but the thing that sees us, the energy that sees us with supreme benevolence. And what the guides most want us to understand is our own value. Ace of Pentacles. Like you are not wanting. This offering that you make to the world in Pentacles energy may appear small, but as you notice, there's the half a pentacle, but the other half is implicit. The thing that makes it whole. I mean, it could roughly relate to what we were talking about earlier, like, where is the deficit? Where is the place when I look at myself, I judge myself wanting as only this page energy? But the big energies of your psyche and of, and of, the mind of the universe say, hang on, get the epiphany. You have this kind of almost like cosmic value. The cosmos values you and your life. It's almost like Mr. Rogers, the cosmic Mr. Rogers saying, I love you just the way you are. Just the way you are is enough. I had a counselor once who said to me, just look at what you've done and say to yourself, good enough. Good enough. I tried my best. This is what I have to show for it, and it's good enough. And I honestly remember saying, and certainly thinking, I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what you're talking about, good enough. It's some kind of childhood wound, perhaps. Something you learned as a little kid, or your inner child is still reverberating with it, that I'm only partly adequate. I'm not even fully here. And yes, you are. And yes, you're in, whether you know it or not, you're in this kind of exchange. We all are. I think we're talking about somebody else that you're in this kind of relationship with. And somehow you're because you find value in them, or at least, you can see beyond their playing small, Page of Pentacles, to this real opportunity for growth. And you held that. Somehow you held that space for them, that Ace of Pentacles opportunity. That you too could go from Ace of Pentacles, the very beginning of like being in your own body and valuing yourself, to this energy. The last card in Major Arcana, from this baby seed energy to this, the egg cracking open and magnificent stepping through. You're not only following the light, you are the light. We had that the other day. Seeing the light, being the light. Tell us about the Six of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. I think it's Velveteen Rabbit, which is a kid's book. And I'm probably not quoting it directly, but there's something about it. It takes a long time to become real. And by the time you've become real, half of your fur, because Velveteen Rabbit, stuffed animal, your fur has been rubbed off or loved away. But it doesn't matter because you're loved. It's a very slow energy. I think it took a long time for your influence, like how you lived. This could be reverse roles. You could have had somebody who really taught you this, who gave you that Page of Pentacles lesson about how to become real. That it takes time. And I think this person thinks they've run out of time. Thinks it. All the time in the world. All the time in the world. That's somehow something I believe you imparted to them just by seeing their value. This could be a kid that you gave support to. And the implicit message was, hang in there. This isn't time wasted. This is time ripening. I see your potential from this Aquarian star overview. I see how you shine. And the interface between who you are and who you think is above you. On Page of Pentacles, Hierophant. The card of the teacher. Taurus energy, earth energy. Remember I said this is like the lesson? You can see it as the lesson, the takeaway. From your higher power. Perhaps from an actual teacher or mentor. Who recognized your value. On World card, King of Wands. Card of taking action, bold action. Not just to be, to act on that sense of, here I am. It's self-confidence. This is a kind of like, yeah, right, I can do it. I'm in king energy now. I'm the embodiment of fire in the belly. I can go out into the world now, world card, and do this thing. I'm confident. I know who I am. Yeah, on Eight of Swords, Five of Cups. That mental trap, made this person really feel defeated. They were stuck in feeling not good enough. They were living in regret. They were thinking they'd blown it. Five of Cups coming underneath Hangman. Five of Cups, Eight of Swords under Hangman. In that Cups energy, I've missed the boat. I'm too sad. I can't move. That was a mental trap. And it kept you stuck I think it kept them stuck for some time. Now they've gained their confidence. This person could really rock the world now. And I think you helped them grow up. Hangman, this is what they had to process. The emotional pain. Pisces, the pierced heart through and through. And it's sword energy, even though it depicts the big heart. The mind is not our friend at this moment. The messages from the mind, from our left brain sort of rational thinking, just echo with, you can't do it, you're ruined, you're separated, you're damaged goods. And it's almost like the universe says, hold up there, chickadee. You hang here until you get the new perspective on what this Three of Swords did to you. It's the memory of the pain. But does it really chip away at your value? Isn't it in some way sort of added value somehow? Because it forces you into this position of Pisces energy. When do I love myself? I can't move forward. I can't move forward until I love myself. Well, mission accomplished. It may have felt like mission impossible, but something's been healed, star card, and it just pops you through into your own life. Yeah. Again, we have the scales. Where did we see them? Yeah. In the Six of Pentacles. More sword energy. About balance. There are the scales. There are the scales. Libra is about balance in relationship between these two things. Between these two energies or two people. Pentacles speak to who shows up in real life. Who shows up? This situation may have been a long time ripening while this person sorted out, I think, Page of Pentacles, childhood wounds, where somebody had told them or made them think that they were shite. They had to then process that and find their own self-worth. From Page of Pentacles to King of Wands, world of difference. I think this person now, rather than being in emotional lack and all up in the head, can enter the world. It took a long time. It may have taken 6 years. But now there's an opening, an opportunity, and this individual, I think it's who you're dealing with. We say it, it could be you, it could be flip-flop roles, is ready to take action. Somebody recognized your worth, and eventually, after you really processed it, it made you recognize your own worth. Of course, it wasn't the other person giving it to you. They just spent enough time with you so that you, time, Pentacles energy, so that you, it began to migrate into your own being, that yes, I'm here. I think this person may have been really almost dissociative, like so up in their head that they thought they weren't there. Eight of Swords, Five of Cups. They were just stuck in stunted, that there was no growth. Yes, growth. Pentacles all over this. Higher power growth. This person somehow was put in touch with their higher power. That was sort of the other half of the pentacle that they're holding. An endorsement from the universe, one, the universe. That fractal thing again, like you're an expression of this amazing, ineffable, divine energy that somehow came into being. Boom, the singularity, like suddenly expansion, Wands energy. May have been slow growth, but the fruit is you. And I just heard, the fruit is you. Don't waste the sweetness. Don't hold back from this thinking you don't have value, because you do. You have value. And now Libra has disappeared. There it is. The Justice card. Another sword energy. Clarity, balance in relationships. I can see it, I can believe it. It's fair, it's just, it's balanced. This is a balanced relationship. And here's sort of the invite to it. You're being invited in, and kind of into your own life. Value your own presence in the world. Don't underestimate the power of your presence in the world and your ability, because this is a card of help, to do this for somebody else. If somebody mentored you and kind of taught you how to connect with your higher power, you can pass this on. You're a teacher too. You may be a literal teacher or a healer. Whether or not you've yet realized it, you have an opportunity to become this in 3D. And I think time is a factor, but I don't think in any way you're running out of time. That's the part of the mental trap. I have no time, I might as well stay put. You have time. I'll see you next time. Yeah, if you would care to, please subscribe. It's down below. There's a button. It's free. Really helps the channel. And welcome aboard. I hope to see you next time. I'll be here.